Hello, hello. Hello, TikTok land. Hey, guys. So here's the deal. I'm going to let people join. I'm going to give everybody a chance to join, and then I'm going to dive into whatever it is everybody wants to talk about. All right. So I'm going to give everybody, my face is red. I'm on fire. I've been making TikTok videos. I'm so passionate about this stuff. I'm nuts. Hey, Haley. Should I invite you to join me? No, I'm just kidding. All right. So I'm warning you now, I'm on fire tonight. But I have switched to water, so it will be good. So I'm going to let a few people join, and then here's how this works. Hello, everybody. Hi. Listen, I've got all the answers you need. You just got to ask the right questions. So when you ask me questions, and this is just basically, tonight is just a Q&A. Next week, I'm going to have a guest. I'm going to put it out to TikTok land. I want to have a guy join me next week. I want to have a guy that also talks about dating. I want to have a guy that has like some interesting opinions and has a bit of a following on TikTok. So if anybody knows a guy that should join me live next week, message me and let me know. Maybe if you know him, that's even better. But tonight you got me all night for the next hour. And I stay here really as long as you have questions. So I love your questions. You're going to get honest answers. So be prepared for it, because I never hold back. The people love me or hate me for it, but you're always going to get the straight scoop. And you just tell me your name, tell me your question. Tell me your name, tell me your question. It's not complicated. So give me your name and then bring your questions. And I got my glasses and I am ready to go. All right, you ready? Bring it. Anybody who's got the first question for me tonight? Okay, here we go. Who has got, oh, thanks, Diana. I put a little effort into myself tonight. And I was like, I have not worn this leopard blouse in so long. I'm busting it out tonight. Okay, so let's see. Well, one thing, I will, oh, okay, Samantha, hey. Yes, Samantha, I work with women of all ages. But here's the thing. Most people want to ask about my matchmaking business. And I guess I understand that. I understand the fascination. But I talk about it so much, it's like second nature to me. But, okay, so here's the thing. Here's the basics about my matchmaking business. 1, I only work with 7 to 8 clients. 2, men are the clients. 3, I follow the lead of my clients. So basically they dictate the women that I match them with, right? So what they say is, Gina, I want a woman that fits blah, 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 blah. And then I have to carry that order out. And I go into my database is the first place I start. And then I put in the series of criteria he tells me he's looking for. And then all of the women that match that criteria pop up for me. And then from there, I will send him prospective matches. And that is how that works. And honestly, it depends. I've had like right now, I have younger clients that are looking obviously for younger ladies and want to start families, but I also have and had older clients who look for older ladies. And it runs the gamut. So it ebbs and flows, but you do have to remember, I only work with 7 to 8 clients. So it's not like I have a factory of men. Hey, on that note, I do want to mention tonight, because I don't have a factory of men and because I've had so many of you amazing ladies coming at me from TikTok, oh my God, I have the most mind-blowing database of ladies. It's ridiculous. So for those men out there that are watching this tonight, I really want to make more matches. So I would love for you guys to connect with me. You can go to my men's page. So if you go to GinaHendrix.com, I'm talking to the men right now, go to GinaHendrix.com/men and guys, fill out a profile for me, because that's going to tell me more about you. And when I have it, I might send you a few matches that I think could be like good potential great matches. And my database of ladies is next level, amazing, mind-blowing. You ladies know, because you're amazing and you've filled out profiles for me, and I want to make more matches. So you guys can either write to me on teamgina@ginahendrix.com. I'm really talking to the men, because the women have flooded me so much, and I love my ladies, but I really want to help the men. So men can go to my website, GinaHendrix.com/men, submit a profile, or I also want to do more profile assessments and help you men pimp your profile. So you can write to me at teamgina@ginahendrix.com. Because ladies, come on, you know the men need some help. And they don't always need coaching, these guys. Sometimes they just simply need help with their profile and access to better women like the women I know. Okay, Melanie, what is the best app for professional women? I'm a doctor looking for someone serious. Honestly, and I just did a whole slew of new TikTok videos tonight, the great men are really on all the apps, but primarily Bumble is a huge one. I mean, I have a friend, and I just did a video about this I'll be releasing soon on TikTok, that the guy, she just met a guy who's a billionaire, and she met him on Bumble. And, and I have another friend who met another guy who owns multiple companies, and she met him on Bumble. And then I know women who are connecting with elevated, sophisticated, educated men on Hinge. So I would say you want to go on the most popular apps, so that you can then sift through, and there's a lot to sift through. But if you're, as a woman who has a PhD or a doctorate or graduate degree, you only should be swiping on men who also have PhDs, graduate degrees, all right? And they are there, 100%, okay? Tell me your name, tell me your question. Tell me your name, tell me your question. But I'll take yours, Logic Girl, anyway. I've been struggling the last 4 years as a business professional. Then here's the problem. If you're not connecting with the best men on the dating apps, it is your photos. And I see the most amazing elevated women who even submit profiles for me where they've just chosen not elevated photos of themselves. So it begins and ends with your photos. So if your photos aren't elevated to a level they need to be, then you're not going to be attracting the best people, plain and simple. Okay? Plain and simple. Say your name. I love to know your name because I want to know who I'm dealing. You know my name. I want to know who I'm talking to here. So say your name, say your question. All right, but I'll take another one. What does being a billionaire or education have to do with matching? Well, then you don't know me. That is my specialty. I specialize in working with some of the most successful people in the world. Many are billionaires, multimillionaires, celebrities, and that is just the niche that I specialize in as a matchmaker. There you go. Hope that helped. Hey, Andy. Andy, do you have a question? Is that what that ... is? I will wait. And I really want to focus on the men tonight because I got so many great ladies that I do want to focus on the men. So, guys, you can go to my website, ginahendrix.com/men, and fill out a profile. And maybe I can send you some great matches of ladies. Or if you want me to do a free profile assessment for you, because I know so many men just need a little help with their profile, you can write to me at teamgina@ginahendrix.com. All right, let's see. What do I have going on with questions? Tell me your name, tell me your question. All right. Hey, Haley, I know your name, so you get a pass. Do you work with guys who make more like 100K, right? So I do normally work with billionaires. I do normally work with multimillionaires, celebrities, but no, not usually under 100K. No, that's not the truth. So usually it does at least have to be over 100K in order to work with me, because I don't want somebody scraping together their nickels in order to work with me, right? It makes me uncomfortable, it'll make you uncomfortable, and I'm not in that business of taking people's money if they're stressing about money, all right? But having a status is leaving some of us out. No, you answered I don't even understand that, Andy. No, you answered my question, but having status is leaving some of us out. You got to kind of break it down, explain it to me a little clearer, and I'm happy to address that, okay? Not trying to hide anything here, okay? Courtney, how do you get out of texting? All right, shit, I got to put my glasses on again. These are like my Coke bottle glasses that look at my eyes. Okay. How do you get out of texting purgatory on the apps? Oh, I love that question. I'm so glad you asked that. Okay, here's what you do. When you're on the apps, and this goes for guys or girls, women or men, okay? I really, really, really can't stress this strong enough that you really only want to do like 4, 5 at the most back and forth, fun question and answer messages, right? You got to get a vibe going on, right? If somebody's asking a question where it's going to require more than 1 or 2 sentences, then you need to say, hey, well, I have to get on a call to answer that, and then put in a fun emoji. Okay. So, but let's just say it doesn't require a long, but it's been a couple back and forth messages and hey, kind of seems interesting, but it's still like in message land. Now, one of you has to make a move. That's either you or the guy. And a lot of times guys don't really understand, sometimes they pulled the trigger too soon. Sometimes they wait too long. All of that happens. So timing is everything. So after 4 or 5 messages, one of you, and it can be the woman or the man, somebody has to say, hey, listen, I'm not on the app that often, so I'd prefer to get on a call and get to know you a little better, or I'd prefer to get on a call and chat. Now, as a woman, I say that. You say, hey, I'm not on the dating apps that often. I'd prefer to get on a call. Then you don't give the number at that point. I want them to come back, and then they'll usually say, oh yeah, here's my number. But you're going to still come back and say, okay, great. Here's my number. I look forward to hearing from you. Or here's my number. I'm available. I'm not really available until 5, usually after 5 during a work week or something, because you got to kind of cue them up so they know when they can call. So that's how you do that. That's how you maneuver that. All right. It's having finances in order. Okay, thanks. I love you ladies. Have my back. Okay, help me if I can't read all your questions. And listen, if I miss your questions, because a lot of things roll by here, just circle back and keep asking your question until I answer it. Okay, it's not a problem. All right, Lori. Yes, texting. Okay, so you got that. So I got that answer. All right. I also just did a TikTok video tonight where I said, and I'm just going to tell you, because if you're here, you get the benefit of knowing in advance. But I did a TikTok video. So if a guy invites you to a shitty restaurant and you don't want to go to Olive Garden or whatever, then you just say, for some reason, I just always have gotten food poisoning at that restaurant. Or if you want to cover all chain restaurants, you would say, I just, for some reason, maybe I have a weak stomach, but I just seem to get, last few times, I just get food poisoning at chain restaurants. And then that will hopefully reroute the plan for you. Okay. Anybody else? Christy, what? Celeste. Sorry, it's Celeste. I have to put my Coke bottle glasses on again. Celeste, what do men want from us ladies? Well, listen, there is not one answer, right? That different men want different things. But you've got to just know how to really pre-qualify. And if a guy creates a dating profile where it looks frivolous, then he's frivolous and he's not looking for anything serious. If a guy has put time and effort into his profile, then he's looking for something substantial. If a guy is always on the side of a mountain and he's constantly showing his 6-pack abs and how hot and cute he is, he's looking for a woman at that level. He's looking for a woman that's just as hot as he is. Or he's looking for low-hanging fruit, which means if you're just willing to jump on his bones, he's in for that as well. All right? Okay, so let's see here. How to let someone down after a bad date. Okay, I believe in honesty. Shock or shock, I believe in honesty. So I would say that basically the best way to handle it, don't ever mislead people because that's not cool. You don't like it, so why would you want somebody to do that to you? So I would say the best way to handle that is to simply say, hey, you know what? I think you're a great person, but I just didn't feel that connection that I'm looking for. And that's how you handle that. Just honest, simple, and then move them along down the line. And I wish you the best. See you later. Best advice you give single friends. I'm over everyone just wanting to hook up. Well, it does come down to your choices. Again, if you're choosing those dudes that are just showing off how hot they are, there's a reason. They're marketing themselves for a reason. All right. My boss is needing some help as he keeps getting gold diggers. How can he reach you? So Logic Girl, he could message me. And also, I'm just also going to put it out here that I give referral fees. So Logic Girl, if you connect me with him and he becomes a client, I happily give a hefty, generous referral fee. And I can put this in writing to you so you can follow up with me through email at teamgina@ginahendrix.com. All right. And that goes for everybody here. If you know somebody great that needs my help for matchmaking, especially we're talking about men that really just need an authentic, great matchmaker who knows what they're doing. If you want to connect us, I am more than happy. I love referrals. I'm more than happy to give hefty referral fees for that and put it in writing. All right. No bullshit here. Straight. I'm straight as an arrow. All right. Okay. Let's see. What else have we got? Any other questions happening here? You got questions, I got answers. I'll stick around. Let's see here. what is your opinion of Raya? So what I say about Raya is that, what people tell me, and I'm not on Raya, so I just go off what people tell me. But, think about it. Raya is so, you it's just about status. Really on Raya, it's all about status. So, they're not picking anybody for quality. They're not approving people based on, do you have a heart of gold, or do you have are you looking for an authentic relationship? So what you have is women who are super beautiful and men who are kids in a candy store. So what I hear from the women who are on Raya, they basically say a lot of the same men that are on the dating apps, and or the guys are even playing around even more on Raya because, again, they're kids in a candy store. They literally have all these gorgeous, ridiculously gorgeous women to choose from. So if you think it's tough on Bumble or Hinge for a guy to make a plan and move it forward, imagine how that goes down on Raya. Okay? That's what I think of Raya. Okay. He asked to take me on a cruise, but I'm uncomfortable saying yes. How do I communicate that? By saying, I think you're awesome, and I would love to do something fun with you, but for some reason, just going on a cruise just makes me uncomfortable. I mean, I think that as women, why are we so afraid to communicate our needs, for goodness sakes? We need to just say what's on our minds, all right? So if we're not feeling it, if something makes us uncomfortable, you just need to tell him. And if he doesn't respect what we're saying, if he doesn't respect how we're feeling, that's a red flag, okay? Because if he's into you, no to Raya, I don't think. So if he's into you and he respects you and you tell him that you're uncomfortable with something, then he should pivot and come up with something different. All right. Somebody else is saying, so I love it when you guys tell me your name. Tell me your name. Tell me your question. Tell me your name. Tell me your question. And I'll be here as long as you guys have questions. But as soon as you don't, I'm leaving because I got other things to do. Okay. Let's see here. I want a proper date that's not coffee. They respond that I'm a gold digger. You should say, I could say a lot of things you should say, but here's what I would say. Unmatch. Why do you want to even put any energy into anybody that thinks because you want more than coffee, you're a gold digger? I think, the way I handle coffee when somebody says, let's go to coffee, the easiest, my go-to, and it works time and time again, if they're not low-level losers, you would just say, coffee is so unsexy. Winky emoji, or even the girl dancing, kicking her leg in the air. Add a little fun, playful emoji, and just say, oh, come on, coffee's so unsexy. And then hopefully, if they're decent, and not serial first daters, they will reroute the plan and come up with something better. All right. Can't understand why women are scared to communicate. Because I don't know. You know why women are scared to communicate? Because we have been programmed, even in this day and age, to not hurt people's feelings, to be polite. And I think the other side of the coin is, the other thing is, we're just fear-based, and we're afraid of what people are going to say or how they're going to react. And I think more of us need to be more fearless in every aspect of our life. We've got to be safe, but we have to be fearless. We have to balance that. All right. Right. What if he has a psycho ex? Here's what I say about psycho exes. I think it takes two to tango. So anybody that tells me that they were in a relationship with somebody that was a psycho, it's a red flag. I think it always takes two to tango. Now, listen, if you go out on a date with somebody who turns out to be a psycho, that's not your fault. Or if you go out on a couple dates or a few or three, you discover. But if you tell me you were in a relationship with somebody who's a psycho, that is not just a them problem. That is a you problem. Okay. And that is a huge red flag. And you say, okay, thank you very much. And you leave. Okay. Hello, Joanne from Virginia. Hello. Do you have a question, Joanne? Okay. Hey, Patty, what to say if you like a guy and you're not sure it's mutual? Now, you must be talking about in real life. Now, I have my own opinions, and I know that I've watched men's videos on TikTok, and I don't always agree with the men's videos on TikTok, but I do agree with the men who have said, basically, listen, if a guy is into you, you're never going to be wondering if he's into you. All right. That's what I have learned about men and from being a matchmaker since 2008. So I think that, you could certainly be a little more flirty, and you could like touch his arm, touch his arm and be a little flirty. But if he's not responding to just that, then for whatever reason, he's not into you. All right. Here's another tip that I've been meaning to tell you guys, and I forget about this, talking about real life. So when you meet somebody in real life, and let's say you've struck up a good conversation in line at Starbucks or at the grocery store or wherever it is, and you think he's cute and he seems like he's interested, and men these days aren't really sure how to approach, or if they're, they don't know, right? So I think this is a good tip, and I never talk about this. Haley, let's make a note of this, is what you want to say is when you introduce yourself, you should say your first and your last name. Your first and your last name, not just your first name. Because then if they're interested, let's face it, if you're hot for somebody, you're going to go on and you're going to Google and you're going to look on social media, and they will do the same thing too. So make sure that if you meet somebody that you're interested in, don't give them just your first name, give them your first and your last name. And that way they can look you up on social media if they want to. Okay. And they will if they want to. All right. Do you have many female clients? Have a friend who is very successful but has trouble? Women, I do coaching for women because I like to help women since they hire matchmakers and a lot of matchmakers can't help them. So I like to do coaching for women. But matchmaking, I do not take women on as the matchmaking client. I could do a whole video about why that is. It's just harder. It's a harder dynamic, and I prefer just to have the men as my clients. All right. How to know if my situationship will turn into a relationship? Ooh, that's such a good question. I say that I think, and if you like my videos, if you like what I'm saying, give me hearts, give me likes, give me diamonds, all that jazz. I don't fully understand about all that stuff, but it's kind of fun and nice. Because I think that they rank you. So how do I know? I mean, first of all, ask yourself, how did you get in a situationship? So I think that how to get out of a situationship is to take a good look at how you got into the situationship. And then I think you need to start having some boundaries, because probably how you got into the situationship, you didn't have enough boundaries in place out of the gate. So then if you want more from what this person is giving you, you got to start putting some boundaries in place ASAP, which means they don't come over late at night. They don't, think of you as an afterthought. They're not making proper dates, and communicate that to them. Like, hey, let's say they're just somebody who you started hooking up with and they're continuing that, but you don't want that anymore. Then you need to just be honest and say, hey, I'm looking for a little more than a hookup, and let the chips fall where they may, right? So if somebody is not down with wanting more from you, let them go. Okay. And don't try to, fit a square peg into a round hole. All right. Let's see here. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Thank you. All right. Anybody got questions? When is too soon to move in together? Gosh, I think you really need to know somebody before you're going to move in. And then the question becomes, are you moving in with them? So it's convenient for them. They're not really putting skin in the game. They're just sort of clearing space for you in the closet, or are you clearing space for them in the closet? Because I think when two people decide to move in together, I think if it's a real commitment and a real investment, should be two people moving into a brand new place together. That's the only way I would personally feel comfortable moving in with someone, is if we're both taking the leap of faith together. There's that. And if you guys can't do that, it's too soon to move in together. All right. Men benefit most. Of course they do. Yes, of course they do. Because men, women have sex as an investment towards a relationship. Good. I got my first gift. Thank you. Men make an investment men don't make an investment. Men just have sex just to have sex. But women, when we have sex, we're investing in hopefully getting a potential relationship out of it. So I would say, before you invest in sex, hoping to get a potential relationship out of it, to save yourself feelings and everything else, you should make sure that you're actually in a relationship before you have sex. Okay. That's what I would say. All right. I seem to end up in the friend zone so often. How do I prevent this? Bubba, you pop in here a lot. I would be so curious to see your dating profile. I would love it if you could. Can you send me your dating profile? And listen, here's the deal. I'm never going to show anybody's dating profile unless you and I have mutually agreed that that's what we're going to do. Okay, just making that clear. I think some people get confused about that when I've showed my profile makeovers and stuff. Believe me, there are video releases that are signed and we're all in on it. So, but I'm just curious because I know that you pop in on my lives a lot and I love it. And if you have a dating profile, I would love for you to send it to me at teamgina@ginahendrix.com. And let me take a look at what you've got going on. And maybe I can help you understand why you're in the friend zone. Because in order for me to really answer this question correctly, I would have to know more than just, what I know about you now, which is extremely limited. Okay? And I like to give good answers to questions. I don't like to bullshit my answers. Are any of your clients Christians? Not right now. And you know, an interesting thing I've also found out, like through having my company, and I don't know why this is, okay? But I've noticed that the more educated my guys are, the less religious they seem to be. I've noticed that over the years. So, the more highly educated, for whatever reason, the less religious they seem to be, for whatever reason. So there we go. Thank you that. Give me those roses or hearts. I don't even know what the purpose of it is, but it's kind of fun to get them. Makes you feel like you're being appreciated. Okay. Let's see. Don't use apps very often. Well, then you need to. Then you need to get a profile and you need to elevate yourself. And I really want to find out what's going on with you, mister, because, I know you from supporting my live videos and I love that and I appreciate that, but I'm fully willing to go down this rabbit hole and figure out what's happening with you. All right. But yes, you have to be on the dating apps, you have to be on the dating apps because it's just such a great way. Everybody's on the dating apps. It's like saying you want to meet somebody fantastic, but you're not willing to go to the great party that is happening every Saturday night in town, right? It's like, well, you want to meet somebody great, but you're not willing to go where people are. You have to, and you have to. Okay. Let's see here. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Things are rolling by. If I skip your question, just keep asking it because things roll by so quickly. Okay. Are you using contacts? What's happening? How are your irises? Are you making, no? You mean right now? No. Are my irises that large? I don't know. I'm not even using a filter. So I have no idea. And if you're trying to insult me, well, that just won't work. I'm like water off a duck's back. I don't care. But it could be, well, the light should make my pupils smaller, but I don't know what to tell you. I'm here to answer your dating relationship questions. But if you want to talk about my eyeballs, we can do that too. Bring it. Let's see here. I can help people improve a profile. Okay. Okay. How do I find a photographer for good pictures? Okay, that's a great question. You don't even need photographers for great pictures, okay? So the women that are doing my group coaching, and I want to remind the men, any men here or any women that know great guys that could be clients, I've got so many amazing women in my database, like ridiculous, and all you ladies are coming at me that I want to make more matches. So I want to encourage the men to go to my website, and now I set up a thing so men can fill out a profile so I can learn more about you. And then if I think like you're a fit, then I'll send you some prospective like profiles of like some amazing women in my database so that we can just gauge if I can help you or not. So that you just go to my website, ginahendrix.com/men, and you fill out that profile for me, or you message me at teamgina@ginahendrix.com. If you know great guys, ladies, send them to me and I'll give you a referral fee. Thank you. My eyes are pretty. All right. So you don't need a professional photographer. So the ladies in my group coaching. Oh, I also want to say the women and men that are on my new community, I have a community phone number. So you guys if you're on my community phone number thread, then you get priority to everything I do. You'll get priority invites to online events I'm having, offline events if I start having those again, or anything I'm doing. Anybody that's part of my community and the community phone number that I have, which is 310-634-1910. you just text inner circle. You'll always get priority for everything that I'm doing before I talk about it anywhere else. Okay. So that's my community you got to type in inner circle 310-634-1910. All right. Let's get to the photography question. All right. That was a little mini commercial. All right. So basically, you don't need a professional photographer. You just need great lighting. And I have had so many women in my group coaching. And we're talking like younger ladies and older ladies in their 60s. They're getting tripods. They're putting their cameras on their tripods, and they are kicking ass with their photos that they're just doing of themselves. And the thing is, I think it's almost better when you do it that way, because when you have a professional photographer, you're on the spot and you have to get it right then and there. Whereas if you kind of perfect the art of doing it yourself, you have the luxury of saying, I'm going to try this outfit today with this lighting, and and you can experiment a little. And also I feel like you can get a little more comfortable in front of the camera. So it's just better. You can hire a professional photographer, but a lot of times the professional photos I've seen, I don't even like. Professional photographers fuck up all the time and they don't know how to get your personality. So I would rather you feel comfortable being yourself and even acting silly and creating fun vibes and moods and clicking with a little remote clicker in your hand, because a lot of times your best photo is not going to be when it's going to be when you're like, and you catch yourself at a cute angle with a cute expression, just bringing the vibes and feeling, right? Because that's actually for me a better photo than like this. I like this. Just capturing that feeling. All right. That's a better photo. All right. Let's see here. Colette. What are some red flags for scammers in dating apps? I think red flags are when their photos all look super old. I think either he's really just dumb and naive, or it's a scammer. Or here's the other side of the coin, when their photos look too good, right? You want any profile you're looking at to feel authentic. And listen, when people are vague and they put like they're a consultant or they're an investor. Now, is it a red flag? It might or might not be. But where I tell my ladies, really where you need to pre-qualify is let's say you give them a shot up to bat. Then you want to ask the questions, whether it's in your messaging there or whether it's on a call. I love getting on a call because this is where you can really dig deep. Yeah? Oh, really? You've lived in San Diego since 89? Oh, and where do you live? And find out. And now you know the area. And oh, okay. And so you bought your home in 89 when you first got there? I asked the questions like, how long have you had your house? You own your home? You got to ask these questions. And if people are weird about giving you the answers, then there's something weird. Because I think authentic people who are looking for an authentic relationship, people who are real, here's what real people do. They give you real answers. They're not afraid of real questions. They show up for real dates. They make real plans, okay? And this is how you know the difference between somebody who's a scammer and somebody who's real, all right? Let's see here. Dating apps are horrible. Not sure how to meet someone at my age. Dating apps are not horrible. Dating apps are like an amazing place. I mean, I've said it over and over. I feel like I'm on a loop right now. But like I know so many women who have met billionaires on the dating apps. They've met like amazing family-oriented great guys on the dating apps. Like what you guys have to realize in terms of the dating apps is that if you think about the world, there's not that many amazing people in the world, right? If there were, you'd be falling over them everywhere you went. So there's not that many amazing people in the world. So the dating apps is only a small slice of what's in the world. So yes, you're going to have shitty people, just like in the world. You're going to have scammers, just like in the world. But you're going to have great people, just like in the world. You're going to have billionaires. They are everywhere. But the dating apps is just a small microcosm of people that are everywhere in the world. So you definitely use the dating apps as a resource. You just got to do them right. That's all. How do we join your community? You froze. Oh, thanks. Oh shit. Okay, I'm not going to touch that anymore. The community number to join my community is 310-634-1910. And you type in inner circle. So you guys, if you join my inner circle, my community, 310-634-1910, then you get priority access to everything I'm doing. Plus, there's a lot of times where you'll pop in and you'll text me a question and I actually will text you a reply. If I'm around, if I have time, a lot of variables are involved. But a lot of people with community numbers, they just don't ever really chime in but I try to help you personally as much as I possibly can. All right. Let's see what else we got going on here. Correct. You're holding it. So here's the thing. Dating, whether it's dating in real life or dating on the dating apps, it's all mindset. So if you think dating is horrible, you're going to have horrible experiences. If you think the dating apps are horrible, you're only going to be, you receive what you believe. It is so true. Our mind has us go through the world wanting to prove our thoughts. So if you're thinking they're horrible, that's what you're going to be seeing. But if you're showing up, and I will say something else here that you guys are making me think of right now, that the people that I have seen get into great, amazing relationships are those people that are enthusiastic and they're excited. They're excited about dating and they're enthusiastic and they're happy and they're upbeat and they're determined. These are the people that find somebody. These are the people that get into relationships. But the people that are like negative about it, hesitant about it, they're holding on to the handrails, they struggle and they struggle and they struggle. And it's that reason. There is something magical about being enthusiastic and upbeat and happy and excited. And I see magic happen that way every time. But those people that are leery, those people that go, ooh, I don't like any of those guys, or ooh, those women are this or that, those people continue to struggle, and they almost never meet anybody, unfortunately. All right, let's see here. I'm gonna do 30 more minutes here. What dating apps do you suggest? All right, I should just hold it. I just should have a card over my shoulder because this question is over and over again. I do love it when you guys tell me your name, tell me your question, because you know who I am. And I love it when you tell me your names. And for those of you, I don't know, maybe you don't know, I've been a matchmaker since 2008. I've written 2 books. I've had 2 radio shows. I was a celebrity wardrobe stylist way back before I ever started my matchmaking business. And yeah, I'm super passionate. So on my radio shows, my first one, I interviewed authors and experts on dating. And then I just have anybody on. I had one guy on that was like a sex addict, and he talked about trolling women on Craigslist. And I had people that were polyamorous. And then I'd have people, I had the girl on my show that wrote Getting to I Do and Calling in the One. And so I'm all in on this. So you're not just getting a perspective of just one person. You're getting a perspective of somebody who's been a matchmaker, seeing behind the scenes of what men do right, women do right, what men do wrong, women do wrong, as well as all the people I've interviewed and talked to over the years. That's who I'm showing up as for you guys. All right. Okay. Think of the girl. Okay. All right. Tell me your name. Tell me your question. That's how we're going to play this game. Yes, if you have a positive attitude in dating, that is how you're going to see positive experience. But these people that even in my group coaching, when I have women show up and they're like, negative attitude, I am so afraid for them because it's hard. It's hard. Like if you're in a negative place and you don't think there's any good people out there and you think you know it all and nobody's going to tell you any different, then you're just going to be climbing a mountain the entire time. And I don't know if you're really going to get the results you want. All right. So let's see here. Are any of your guys looking for curvy girls? Sometimes, yeah. I mean, every guy shows up different. Some, listen, we all have our type. Women, you have your type. Men have their type. So I find that, yeah, absolutely all the time. Sometimes guys like curvy, they're like boobs in a butt, or, they want a little more, they don't want skinny, stick straight. Some want tall blonde, some want short petite. It depends. It's all over the map. Thank you so much, Lindy, in Texas. Lindy, do you have a question for me? Let's see here. Let me scroll back through, see what else I got here. Somebody's saying, have you heard of Raya? I already talked about Raya. So yeah, I already covered that. I already covered the dating apps. I live in a small town. What apps do you recommend? I'd say you have to test them, honestly. I mean, sometimes I'm of the belief that if you're in a small town, maybe people are still on Match.com. Maybe it's kind of an old school situation. But I'm not opposed to trying everything to see where the best people are for you. Home Depot. I don't know what that's about. All right. What are some horrible hobbies I could pick up to meet? Wait. Oh, why did I say horrible? Oh my gosh. What are some hobbies I could pick up to meet some men in real life? Oh, this is great. I had a theory about this. I think volunteer opportunities are kind of a really good way to meet people who are also compassionate and interested in the same things you are. But then that goes also for more than that. That goes for maybe rock climbing. So maybe rock climbing, if there's a rock climbing group where you guys meet on a regular basis, so you kind of get to know each other. Because I find a lot of times, we can become attracted to people through the course of interacting with them over a period of, weeks, months, whatever. This is why, like, sometimes people get together with their next door neighbor in their apartment complex. Then you may never have swiped on them on an app, but because you see them on a regular basis, then all of a sudden, like, sparks start to fly. So there is something to be said about joining groups that you're passionate about and doing things that you're passionate about in real life, and hoping that maybe there's people that are like-minded. Like Habitat for Humanity is kind of an interesting idea. And listen, here's another idea. You could always start your own group. Like whatever you're into, you could start your own group and then have other people join your group, simply because you want to meet more people, not only that are interested in your thing, but maybe it's a group for singles. Like you create a singles group for people who want to go and volunteer at the animal shelter. Maybe you create a singles group for those who want to do rock climbing. I don't know, just thinking outside the box here for you tonight. Think my career is a major roadblock. I'm international airline captain, and I don't like, no, you know what it is? Oh, Bubba, so we talked about this? Because, I was a flight attendant for 9 years for Delta. First of all, airline pilots are known to be infamous, like, cheaters and playboys. So I know that when we're looking at men on the dating apps and I'm doing my swipe session with ladies, we're like, he's a pilot, he's a fireman, cheaters. So I actually think that might be part of the problem, that the stigma. Then Bubba, if you're an international airline pilot, you have the money to work with me as a matchmaking client, then you're just a ding dong for not reaching out to me, because you might be a great client. I mean, I have to see what you look like. I'm not going to take on like a Hunchback of Notre Dame or anything. But if you're halfway decent looking, then, you should at least fill out that profile for me on my website and let me send you some potential matches and see. Because I think that the thing is, when I'm representing my guys, I'm pitching them. I'm like their PR person. So I control the narrative. So if I pitch you to somebody and they go, oh, he's a pilot, and I'll say, yeah, I know most pilots, the reputation, but this guy is looking for an authentic, great relationship, because what I say and how I pitch you, that makes all the difference in the world, and that carries the weight. And so this is how I'm kind of able to get you, like the guys I work with, to the front of the line with the women they want to meet, because I control the narrative, right? It's not like they're reading, oh, airline pilot, oh, potential cheater. It's like, if I can vouch for a guy, and I'm only going to work with you if I actually think I can vouch for you. Because if I don't like you, I'm not going to work with you. If I don't think women are going to like you, I won't work with you. But if I actually believe in you, then I can present you to women with a high level of integrity and be honest with them and tell them all the great things of why they should go out with you, and they usually will. All right. Okay. What else we got going on here? Kat, you were right about Bumble. Guys swiping right, but they don't always respond after matching. Right, because swiping means nothing. Swiping means nothing. And so when women say, I get a lot of swipes, I get a lot of matches, and I say, okay, and how many put effort in after that? And how many follow up with you after that? Because all of that stuff is what matters. All right. Oh, I love this. Ooh, see, this is a great resource. My friend started Singles Who Serve. I met a dear friend, but not a boyfriend, but still a win. I'm going to look up Singles Who Serve. Is that local to somewhere, or is that international? And I love that name. I love that name. Maybe she and I can like join forces or something, because I'm all about giving back and charity. And I just really think there's something to be said by connecting people based on them putting in the time and effort to give back and help, whether it's the homeless or kids with cancer or animals or whatever it is. I'm all in with that idea. I love it. Lorelei, does it make sense to swipe on guys who have a location nearby but live hours away? Location nearby. Sure. I think you should. I think sometimes you got to be open-minded. I think that what you want to do is you want to pre-qualify, you want to send a few messages, and if they seem enthusiastic and interested, then you get them on a call. And on the call is where you're really going to ask the questions and find out, are they willing to put in the time and effort for somebody who might be a little long distance, or are they expecting you to come to them, which in fact will disqualify them. But I think it's absolutely worth getting them on, doing a few messages and at least queuing it up to get more information. I think so many times we want to rule people out so quickly on the dating apps. And I understand that in one way, but if somebody sounds really great, like what we're looking for on paper, I think it's worth giving them a shot to see how they show up. I really do. All right. Should I try to be funny or serious in my dating profile? I want to show my personality. I don't like those funny, frivolous prompts, but you can add like one in, and I think you can even talk about yourself in a serious way. Like, hi, listen, I'm looking for a great relationship. I'm trying to connect with somebody who's also, wants to create a family down the road. I started my own social media business, but I also love travel and adventure with a man who's relationship oriented. And you can say that and then throw in a playful emoji. So I think for me, that's as playful as I'd want you to get, because I think that it's all valuable real estate on the dating apps. And I think the more serious that you come off, that you're but with maybe playful emojis inserted in, but not choosing, like, nobody cares what, your favorite piece of pizza toppings are, or like this kind of frivolous thing only attracts frivolous people. All right. So the more substantial you sound, but you can say it sounds substantial and throw in the cute emojis so it balances it out. All right. And that's how I would do that. So they know you're playful. Okay. You don't have to be the funniest person in the room, but as long as somebody thinks that you're like cute and playful, as well as smart and interesting and all these other things, that's a win-win, in my opinion. All right. Give me your info and I'll refer you. No, I'm speaking directly to you because you're here all the time. And I know that you must want to connect with somebody if you're here all the time. All right. So you guys can just write to me at Team Gina at GinaHendrix.com, or join my community, which is 310-634-1910, and type in Inner Circle. And then that's how you get priority to online events I'm doing, or offline events I might be doing, or whatever I have going on. I'm going to post it in my community group first before I do it anywhere else. All right. And sometimes I even answer your text questions when you text me. All right. 310-634-1910. All right. Any thoughts on cruises for meeting women? No, I have no thoughts. Because I have personally never been on a cruise. Here's what I would say. If it's like a theme cruise, okay? So like I love, for nostalgia reasons, I love all kinds of music, right? I like music. I like everything from Miles Davis to Cypress Hill to, to Kings of Leon to you name it, right? To Willie Nelson. I like all music, but I also love hair bands. And I have heard on Sirius Radio, they have this cruise every year and it's like a hairband cruise. So I would say if somebody's specific, like whatever you're specifically into, do that kind of specific cruise maybe, but I don't know, just a cruise in general, you're landlocked for a certain period of time and God knows what you're going to get. So at least if it's something you like to do, like I know at least if I went on a hairband cruise, I might be horrified by the people, God forbid, or more likely, but at least I'd love the music. So then it's a win-win. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I mean, man, I hear good and bad things about cruises and you're just locked in there, man, for a period of time. That is a little frightening. So that's all I have to say about that. Let's see here, but I love that question. Am I wrong for not giving out my number day one? Guys unmatched because I won't give my number out. Okay, here's how you're going to handle that, PR girl. And hello, I know you follow me and I love you comment on my stuff. Thank you. I think some guys jump. It's unfortunate that men can't read the room. And I think part of it's not like it doesn't make them good or bad, but they just get so tired and frustrated with the dating. They want to get somebody on a call. So I think that here's the thing. If they suggest the number so soon, I think what you should say is hey, I would love to get on a call with you, but let's just see if we have anything in common here first, right? And then throw out a question to them and then just try to reroute it. So like, just say like, for example, like, what's your favorite restaurant that you went to lately? Like, try to engage with them, because they're just trying to cut through the bullshit, and they're excited about you, and they probably want to meet you, and they get frustrated. So it's all in the way you handle it. And if you're in PR, then you know it's all in the way you finagle things. So I would say, hey, before I give you the number, and I'd love to get on a call, but let's get to know each other first and see if we've got a vibe going here, and put in like a playful emoji. And if they still unmatch with you, then thank God they did, right? But I would handle it like that instead of just saying, no phone number. Okay, that's what I would say. All right. But no, you're not wrong. You have to feel comfortable. But I would say definitely 3, 4, 5 messages after there's like a little bit of a back and forth vibe. Then definitely, go ahead and move it over to a call. Let's see. It's actually kind of dissolved, but she'd probably be up to starting it again. I don't even know what this is. Those are questions that are happening in the thread. Okay, let's see here. You have questions, I have answers. I got 10 more minutes here, so bring it. Oh, my blouse is a little low cut. Pardon me. I think I popped the button. Seeing a little more than you bargained for tonight, folks. Sorry about that. Okay, so the way it works, I'm going to take a few more questions. Oh, here we go. Bubba's got the answer here. There is a singles cruise organization, hold on, that plans different themes, cruises. Yeah, but here's the thing. You don't know. Do you know ahead of time, like what those other cruise people are going to look like before you've committed to going? Probably not, huh? That's the frightening thing. That would be what would worry me a little bit. Vanessa, I'm an aspiring actress with kids. I'm aspiring actress kids, martial arts teacher. Oh, kids martial arts teacher. I got it now. Do you think that's an issue to guys? I would dial down the aspiring actress thing, and I would just go with I teach martial arts to kids. And then what I would do is when I'm on a phone call with them, then I would say that you're also an aspiring actress, right? Because I do think it confuses people. I met a girl that's an architect, and she has a very high-level architect job, but then she also does modeling on the side. But really, she's an architect. And I told her I wouldn't even mention the modeling, even though you would think modeling sounds so impressive and great. And I think that's what surprised her. But it really takes away from the fact that she's a smart, accomplished architect. And I think aspiring actress does the same thing. I think a guy might be even more attracted to you because you teach martial arts to kids, and that's so different and unique and cool that I would play that up. I would play the aspiring actress part down, but I wouldn't hide it, but I would just say it after I got a chance to kind of talk to them more, and which I would do on a call or either first date. Don't even need to. Why would you even need to mention it on a call? Like maybe even just don't even mention it until a first date, because it doesn't really matter. It's not like you have herpes in which you want to maybe reveal that sooner rather than later. Or not. I don't know. I've done videos on that before, but we're not going to dive into that now because I'm going to wrap this up here shortly. Okay. I'll give you guys, so for the men, now I do have a form on my website, so now you guys can go and fill out a profile for me. And if I feel like you're in line with the type of man I work with, or that women might like you that are in my database, I can send you some potential matches of some incredibly, insanely amazing women, because you ladies know you filled out profiles for me. I have like mind-blowing women in my database. So men, if you go now, ginahendrix.com/men, you can fill out a profile for me, and I'll follow up and we'll chat. And then I can possibly send you some profiles of some great ladies. Or you can just message me at teamgina@ginahendrix.com. All right, I'm going to take 2 more questions, and then I'm going to be out of here. And then I will also say you can join my community. Phone number, 310-634-1910. This is where you can interact with me more outside of TikTok. And you always will know first what I'm up to before anybody else. Okay, 2 questions. Tell me your name and tell me your question. All right, I'll take 2 last questions and then we'll wrap it up. Oh boy, everybody's trying to get on Bubba to reach out to me. You've certainly become my friend in here, Bubba. I mean, you've been at this a while. Okay, so let's do this. Okay. All I'm hearing is a cheerleading squad for Bubba to reach out to me. So I guess then I'm going to wrap it up. If nobody has any more questions, I'm going to wrap it up with the cheerleading squad cheerleading Bubba on to reach out to me. And, you know, I do want to do more profile assessments for men on TikTok. I do want to do some more TikTok videos where I am helping men with their dating profiles. So please encourage your guy friends to connect with me, or if you're a guy watching this, connect with me. Send it to, and I'm not going to make anything on TikTok public until you and I have arranged that and we've both agreed that's what we're going to do, okay? But just take the baby step of reaching out to me. You know, nobody's going to harvest your organs through email, okay? So just put a toe in the water and reach out to me at teamgina@ginahendrix.com. You literally have nothing to lose by reaching out to me, but you have everything to lose if you don't reach out to me. How about that? And I think that's a perfect way to end this tonight. All right, you guys have been terrific. And if I've missed any of your questions, you can always write to me or connect with me through other channels. I've given you some options here. All right. Thank you. And I'm here every Wednesday night. I'll see you soon.